I think that we look tonight at Regents, and it's a beautiful example of what I've described tonight. And I have such great hope for this school that's only in its 5th year. So how is it classical? Think you could come and see our grammar students on any recitation Friday, chanting or saying those Bible memory verses, that memorization aspect. The history songs that perhaps you have heard sung in the car that the students can't get out of their heads. The math facts that they have to memorize to the level of automaticity. We do all of this so that it can be stored properly in the brain so that when they are older and we're asking them to do some comparisons and analyzing, there's space in the brain to do that kind of work. And I think you see that at Regents through the activities that we require of our younger students. In the logic grades, we're working with comparisons on charts, relating things one to another, those things that they learned in the younger grades. Just today, I was in a Bible class with the 8th grade, and they were having a discussion on sin, its existence in the world, and how a good God could allow sin to exist. What's the relationship? How do these things coexist, a good God and a sinful world? It's the sort of thing that we're asking our logic students to do. It's heavy lifting thinking, but they're doing the work that at this age is appropriate, comparing things and relating them one to another. In our rhetoric school, we practice Socratic seminars, these discussion times. We allow them to ask questions that consider ideas that they learn and how they apply to the world around them. Today we had a seminar where the students analyzed an article that discussed literature and how it was a way that people are welcomed and drawn back to God. And they analyzed it, and they questioned it. They applied it to what they knew and questioned, is this what we know to be true? Is this what we have experienced in the books that we have read? Of the literature that we know, does this hold true? And so they're doing that sort of thinking at this level. So yes, Regents is applying that classical model. But is it Christian? You all hope so, right? As good as this education that I've just laid out for you may be, that we're teaching students how to learn, if we aren't training the heart, all of our efforts are futile. Is Regents a place where the gospel is presented regularly? As in, does your child know that he or she is a sinner and needs a Savior? And does your child know that there is a God who so loved them that he sent his only Son to die on a cross for them, a sinner? Luke 6:40 tells us that a disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone, when he is fully trained, will be like his teacher. Are the teachers here people you want your children to emulate? Let me answer these questions for you. I'm not going to give you any more time. Yes and yes. I do believe so. I do believe that this is a place where you will regularly see the gospel preached to children, where teachers will take the time to address heart issues one-on-one with your children. The lesson will stop so that any heart issues can be addressed when they arise. And it's not about behavior here. We're not about correct behavior, but we're about right hearts. Are they in the right place? Do they have the right position regarding God and man? Particularly, I think of our logic school and rhetoric school where Education is about discipleship, essentially, in those years. Yes, those sweet younger years in the grammar school, those teachers are with your children regularly and training them. But in the older years, it really does become a discipleship model. And you want people who love the Lord first and their subjects second, training your children. I think we have those types of teachers here, that they are doing just that they care first about the Lord and their subjects second. We want to win your children's affections, not just their minds. I'll wrap up here to state that no, Regents is not a perfect school. It never will be so here on earth. But it is certainly a classical Christian school. It's a place where your child is loved and where they're taught as a whole person, body, mind, and spirit. Thank you all for coming out this evening.